There is one student in the class. Who is more quiet than the other students? He is from South Korea. When our teacher asks if we have any questions for her, this student from Korea says that he has a question. He says that he has a big problem with pronunciation. He knows that his pronunciation is not very good, but he doesn't know how to improve it. He doesn't speak much because he doesn't want others to listen to his bad pronunciation. He says that he reads and watches films in English a lot. He understands very well, but he also wants to improve his speaking. He asks if there is something he could do to be better at pronunciation. When my teacher hears this, she says, "Okay, I will tell you something about pronunciation and how to practice it. I will also teach you a great technique, which can help all of you to be better at pronunciation. First, we have to look at why students have problems with pronunciation. When we speak, we have to move our mouth. We have to use muscles in our mouth. We all do that. The problem is when you speak English. Sometimes you use your muscles the same way you would use them in your native language. Then your pronunciation is different from the pronunciation of native speakers. This happens to many students who learn English. Almost everybody has a little different pronunciation than they should have. In fact, it is not a big problem, because usually people understand what you want to say, even if your pronunciation is not perfect. However, you can work on your pronunciation and make it better. There's a great technique which can help you a lot. The name of this technique is shadowing. The technique is very simple. When you do shadowing, you simply copy the sound which you hear. When children learn their first language, they learn it by copying. They copy after their parents again and again. And one day their pronunciation is perfect. You can learn English pronunciation the same way. This is what you can do. You take some video or audio recording, which is not very fast and which you understand very well. You listen and you copy what you hear when you hear it. That is all. Then, our teacher goes to YouTube. YouTube comes and she finds a good video where the shadowing technique is well demonstrated. We watch the video, then we all try to do shadowing for about 3 minutes. Then our teacher tells us shadowing is also good when you are preparing for a presentation and you want to have good pronunciation. Before the presentation, you can go to some place where you are alone, and you can do shadowing for about 10 minutes. You will see how much it will help you to have better pronunciation during the presentation. This is very interesting for me. I haven't heard about this technique before. When the lesson finishes, I go to the school reception. I asked the lady if there were any sports activities at school. I would like to do some sports in England. The lady at the reception says yes. We have a table tennis team and a football team. The football team has training today. I am very happy, because sport is very important in my life. I go to the training of the football team. I meet a lot of players from different countries. The players are from Brazil, Japan, Russia, Spain, Argentina, and Italy. I like the training. I am very happy that my time in England has started well. I have a great teacher. I also have some new friends for my football team. Also, tomorrow I'm starting my job. When you want to have good pronunciation, repeat after native speakers. Chapter 4: How I Practice Speaking. On Thursday, I go to school again. We have a new student in our class. Her name is Monica, and she is from Italy. At the beginning of the lesson, my teacher asks Monica some questions. My teacher knows Monica because Monica visited her class 1 year ago. It was a class for beginners and it was only for 2 weeks during summer holiday. When Monica speaks, her English is beautiful. Her pronunciation is very good and she is very fluent. My teacher is very happy and she tells Monica, "Your school in Italy must be very good." Monica says, "I don't go to any school. I learn English at home. I use techniques from you. I do a lot of reading, shadowing and thinking aloud. I try to think more in English than in Italian. This is how I work on my English. The 2 weeks which I spent last summer at your class helped me a lot. You showed me the way. I know how to work on my English every day. This is why I wanted to go to your class again. Because 1 year ago, I was a beginner and now I can speak English. I want to learn from you again." My teacher is very happy when she hears these words. She thanks Monica for her hard work. It is all very interesting to me. I already know about reading. I also know the shadowing technique. But Monica also speaks about thinking aloud. I don't know what it is. So I ask our teacher what is thinking aloud. Our teacher says it is a very effective technique. You have to have a strong motivation to learn English if you want to benefit from this technique. It is also good to know that for some people this technique is a little crazy. But when you start to think aloud, your English can improve very fast. I say, I have a strong motivation. I don't care if the technique is crazy. If it helps, I want to learn it. Can you teach us this technique? Okay, it is actually very simple. You think in your native language all day every day, it is normal. Now you can start to think in English, and when you start to think in English then you can think aloud. You simply say aloud what you think. That is all. I say, it is very simple. Why is it very effective? Our teacher says maybe you can ask Monica. She uses this technique. Maybe she can tell you more about this technique. Then our teacher asks Monica if it is okay for her to speak about her experience with thinking aloud. It is no problem for Monica. She says, "When I started with this technique, it wasn't easy. I started with very simple sentences. For example, I can speak English. It is good that I can speak English. I want to be better. I need to practice every day. I don't know many words, but I can use these words well. I can say, with these words I can do this. This is great." The sentences were really simple, but at the beginning, there was one problem. My thinking in Italian was long and complicated. I wasn't able to say in English exactly what I was saying in Italian. I needed to find a simpler form for English. To think in simple English was the hardest part. But after some time it was normal for me to think in English. Then something interesting happened. I met a man from Australia. He was on holiday in Italy. I was still a beginner, but we started to speak English. I could see that I was able to speak with him without big problems. My sentences were simple and short. But I was able to speak. I didn't translate in my head from Italian to English. After the meeting with the man from Australia, I started to use thinking aloud more. This technique helped me a lot with my speaking. I still use it every day. It is really a very effective technique. Our teacher thanks Monica for her experience with thinking aloud. I want to use this technique because I also want to be better at speaking. When you want to speak English fluently, think aloud. When you want to learn English, read, listen and speak. Do each activity for 30 minutes every day. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe for more videos.